I'm back with tips on success for online degrees. So this is supposed to be a very general video. It can be for anyone who is a procrastinator like me. You can still be successful if you just have a few tricks. So starting with number one, important one is having a space. I'm gonna just have a video of my space that I use. Whatever works for you. Mine happened to be the guest room. That's also my storage room. That's also my workout room where I get dressed and look in the big mirror room. I'm actually in this room right now. This is where I post videos at. This is where my last video's at. This is where I did some of my online school stuff that I had to post videos for. So you need to find a space and have people respect that space. Partners, kids, anything. You need to have a locked door or a closed space, planning done. That way you don't have anyone interrupting that time you really need to get work done. So that's number one. Like, I'm gonna try to go, like I said, quick as I can through everything. Number two, so making a plan. So if I can find a picture, I'm gonna find a picture of what my ugly, it doesn't have to be pretty, no one has to see it, ugly plan looked like. It was basically just a calendar set up for term with my classes, and I would set deadlines. And I don't like the word deadline, so I called it success lines. I think this is one of the most important tools that you can use when you're in an online degree, and it's much easier said than done, and I'll be the first to admit that. It is changing your way of thinking, which I know is very broad, so I'm gonna give you a few examples. So for me, I really needed to, well, I was busy, right? So I'm working, I'm going to school, I have my relationship, and I have my girlfriends. I was really trying to plan, I was trying to do everything. So certain words, or for example, I did not like the end week videos when you had to, oh, great idea, and you had to write a certain amount of comments back. So what I did is I created my own personal template where literally I blanked out a name, and I had like a few variations, right? Oh, blank so-and-so. I noticed that you said this about this topic. This is the way that I thought about it. So thank you for pointing something out that I wouldn't have thought of before. Great job on the video. Things like that. It saved time, and it got rid of the stress of having something to write about, and it made me feel better about getting that done, so I wouldn't procrastinate on it. So it motivated me to make sure to complete those right away. So that's an example. Another example would be even on my calendar, where I just discussed things that you needed to plan. Plan. I never liked the idea of the word deadline. It doesn't feel good. It never made me feel motivated to get something done. It was almost like a stress emotion, just having that, oh my gosh, you have this deadline that you have to complete. So for me, I was like, oh, this is just my success, my finish line, my success line, my goal line. And it was set by me. And I would always put it before the deadline. That way it was something completed well before the due date. It relieved that stress from it. And it was a finish line. It's like ending a race. You're like, yay. A deadline, I feel like you just made it. You almost died, but it got done. So that's just a trick. And you might have your own things that can help you, like other words to stress you out. I had a friend who said she doesn't like anything that involves with video assessments. She said she stopped doing dry runs. So let's just say you have to do something online and it requires you to record yourself. So she said what she would do is, instead of having a thing preset, she would just write down everything she needed to do, and she gave herself 2 times. So it technically wasn't a dry one. She would just edit and put it all together in one. But that was one thing, because she said she kept trying to be perfect, would redo it over and over and over. So just change your way of thinking. Find the things that keep you motivated about completing it, whether it's you're so close to your degree, your halfway marks, just taking away all those stressful things that keep you, anything that keeps you from procrastinating. So yeah, those are the simplest tips that I feel like really benefited me while I was getting my degrees online. And I did do it twice. I don't know if I could do it again, but I'm strongly thinking about it. So the first one, of course, was having that space, whether it's to study, whether it's to write those long papers or dissertations, or just having that time that you needed to separate everything and get your tasks turned in and completed. And then there was the making sure you're planning. So you're meeting those deadlines, because at the end, that's what they are. Make sure you're staying on top of your goals. So that's one way of making sure you're planning appropriately. And the last thing is just to change your way of thinking. If you're someone who has struggled with completing tasks, like myself, just because it feels so much, you know, one step at a time. Make sure you address those fears that's causing you to draw back from those responsibilities and get them done. So those are the 3 tips that I have. I hope this was helpful to someone. But if you guys have other tips that you'd recommend, I'd really love to hear about it. And if this video was actually helpful to you, please let me know. That would be great. I hope you have a great day, you guys. See you next time.